Greetings. The topic for today is the thesis statement and paragraph analysis. Throughout your life as a student, you definitely might have read a lot of things and have noticed that writers put the ideas in blocks of sentences called paragraphs. They show these blocks by indentation or sometimes by spacing. Today we're going to see what makes a good paragraph and what role that what we call the thesis statement plays in a paragraph. If we're able to do this very well, we'll be able to acquire the ability to write well ourselves. So identifying the role that individual sentences play in a paragraph would inform your ability to write a good paragraph yourself, which will make your academic work a little easier. So the thesis statement and paragraph analysis is what we're going to look at today. What is the thesis statement, you may be wondering? It's as we can see, it says it is the central sentence in a piece of writing. And when we say a central sentence, of course something comes to your mind, the center of something is what holds it. For example, our spine keeps us erect. Without the spine, it would be difficult for us to stand. So it shows that the thesis statement is the most important sentence in a piece of writing. What is it? It says it is the sentence around which every other sentence or paragraph revolves. So we can illustrate this by the solar system. It is called the solar system because it is named after the sun, solar. So the Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and all the other planets revolve around it. So without the sun, we wouldn't have a solar system. By the same token, without the thesis statement, which happens to be the central sentence in a piece of writing, what we write wouldn't make so much meaning. The thesis statement controls the entire writer. Now the sentences simply expand, explain, expatiate, or illustrate the thesis statement. So if you take a piece of writing, or a book, or a novel, or even a student project work, a long essay, a thesis, or a dissertation, the whole book would be about something. What that book, or novel, or dissertation, or project work is about can be termed a thesis statement. So no doubt it is the most important sentence. Take note, it's a sentence. Of course, some writers it's difficult to write, it's difficult to read and be able to tell a particular sentence. Some writers could put their thesis idea into different sentences that a reader will be able to deduce what the writer is saying. So, yes, but from the basics, the thesis statement is a single sentence around which every other sentence revolves. So the other sentences expand, explain, expatiate, or illustrate the thesis statement. Now the thesis statement is found in materials of at least 2 paragraphs. What we mean by that is that, of course, the most powerful sentence in a single paragraph has a different name. It is not called a thesis statement. That's why we're saying that the thesis statement is found in materials of at least 2 paragraphs, because just as a thesis statement controls an entire passage or composition, individual paragraphs have other sentences which play likely the role of the thesis statement but are not the thesis statement. Of course, the thesis statement itself is found in a paragraph, but it controls the entire passage. It can be likened to the president who is in Accra but controls the entire country. And then we have about 16 regions, and in the regions we have the regional ministers who represent the president, so things like that. But of course, the president is still boss over the regions of the country. So the thesis statement is found in materials of at least 2 paragraphs. It is usually placed in an introductory paragraph. Take note, usually placed, not always placed in the introductory paragraph. So you are usually likely to see writers put the most important sentence, which control the entire passage of what they seek to write, in the introductory paragraph. What it means is that some writers may not put their thesis statement in the introductory paragraph, and they may put in the second, the third, or even the final paragraph. The choice is theirs because writing itself is a style. Somebody may begin from the beginning, another one could put it in the middle, someone even in the final paragraph. Whatever the case, the thesis statement is the most important sentence in the entire write-up. Now I said it can be playfully referred to as the king sentence of a passage or a text. Just like I said earlier, comparing the thesis statement with the president being responsible for the entire country, it's the same, that it can be called the king sentence of a passage or a text. So we have seen clearly that the most significant sentence in an entire write-up, a composition, a passage, a novel, a dissertation, a thesis, a long essay, is called a thesis statement. If you're able to pinpoint the thesis statement, you can tell exactly what an entire writing is about. So that is the thesis statement. Then, just as the president is in Accra and controls the entire country and has representatives in the various regions, so does the thesis statement control the entire passage or composition. But in the various paragraphs, some sentences pay allegiance to the thesis statement. In other words, they explain or throw more light on the thesis statement. One of such sentences is called the topic sentence. The topic sentence. Now, the topic sentence is a sentence that holds the central idea in a paragraph. Take note. It holds the central idea in the paragraph, while the thesis statement, as we said earlier, holds the central idea in the entire writer. So the topic sentence controls the paragraph. It's the most significant sentence in the paragraph. Like the thesis statement, the topic sentence is the king of the paragraph. Just like the regional minister controls a region but pays allegiance to the president. In the same fashion, the topic sentence controls the paragraph, but it actually respects or is governed by the thesis statement. So that's why there's a point over here that says all topic sentences can be thesis statements if they control an entire passage. So what it means is that the thesis statement itself actually is a kind of topic sentence because it finds itself in a paragraph. Just that its power extends beyond that paragraph to the entire passage, while the power of the topic sentence is limited to the paragraph in which it finds itself. President controls the entire country as well as the region. The regional minister controls only the region under the tutorship of the president. So things like that. So all topic sentences can be thesis statement if they control an entire passage. So a thesis statement itself is a topic sentence in the paragraph in which it finds itself. Now, what does the topic sentence do? It must present a general statement. So a topic sentence presents a general statement. A general statement could be there are many ways to kill a cat. So that statement already gives you an idea. It's going to be about killing the cat. Many ways. It must lend itself to being supported by other more specific ideas, examples, details. So if the general statement is there are many ways to kill a cat, then we talk about details, specific details. You can say one of the ways is to slaughter it straight away. So that makes it more specific. If a writer wants to go further to give an example, you can say, for example, and then states it. And then he must have details too. So the topic sentence is present a general statement that can be narrowed further into more specific things or details or examples. Now the topic sentence must limit the scope of the paragraph. The idea must not be too broad nor too narrow. So if you see, for example, a paragraph that is very broad, very big, what it means is that the scope of the topic sentence is very broad. That's why you see the paragraph to be very long. But if you see a very lean or small paragraph, it means the topic sentence's scope is very narrow. So it depends upon the writer anyway. Some ideas may need more explanation, more exemplification, and more details, but some are just lean. So the topic sentence must limit the scope. So once you read, you see a very big paragraph, you know that the scope of that paragraph is big, and that is done by the topic sentence. On the other hand, if you see a lean or small paragraph, then the scope is lean, presented by the topic sentence. Of course, the topic sentence must catch the attention of the readers. Okay, so yes, one of the ways of it to catch the reader's attention is that it must be simple. If the topic sentence is very complex and difficult to understand, then it will present a paragraph almost uninteresting or a complicated paragraph. Now, is it usually placed as the first sentence, but can be placed anywhere such as the middle or the end of a paragraph. So a topic sentence, which is the most important sentence in a paragraph, can be at the beginning of the paragraph. It can also be at the end of the paragraph. It can be in the middle of the paragraph. It's mobile. It is not a law that a topic sentence must be the first sentence. But some writers choose that because it is the most important sentence, they place it first. Others put it in the middle. Others actually sum up what they have discussed so far in this paragraph into a topic sentence. So the choice is the writer's. The choice is yours. Just make sure that your topic sentences follow these parameters, so you could have a good paragraph and a smooth write-up. So from the thesis statement, we have the topic sentence, and then we are narrowing. So what it means is that the thesis statement is the broadest. It's kind of like a cone. The thesis statement is the broadest, the most powerful. And then we descend to the topic sentence, which is powerful, but not as powerful as the thesis statement. And so from the thesis statement, we descend further into what we call the major support sentence. The major support sentence. So paragraph really is the building block, of course, who is into smaller units of sentences. So we've seen the thesis statement, the topic sentence, now we are on the major support sentence. What is it? Of course, you can take from the note, it does a lot of work. It's a major, it's powerful. So this sentence throws more light on topic sentences. It is usually placed immediately after topic sentences. One topic sentence can have a number of major support sentences. Remember, we talked about topic sentence would have examples, would have details, or would be explained. Yes, that is what the major support sentence does. We give an example from the beginning that there are many ways to kill a cat as a topic sentence. A major support sentence can be, one of the ways to kill a cat is to drown it. Of course, that's cruel. I think that is cruel. But some people do that. That's just by the way. But let's just take it as an example for a major support. There are many ways to kill a cat, topic sentence, full stop. One of the ways is to drown it. So that is a major support, specifically identified by one of the ways. Okay. So it is usually placed immediately after the topic sentence, as we have just seen, one of the ways. One topic sentence can have a number of major support sentences. So that one way can be further explained, expanding the major support sentence. Then another way to kill a cat is to slaughter it the way other animals are slaughtered. Another major support sentence. It can be explained further to make it bigger, and then a third, a fourth, a fifth. So the number of major support sentences determine the size of a paragraph. Yeah. If there are many, the paragraph is likely to be very big. If there's just one, the paragraph is likely to be lean. Of course, it's possible to have a single major support whose paragraph is bigger than another paragraph that has more than one major support. And there's no hard and fast rule about that. But usually, the number of major support sentences determine the size of the paragraph. So yes, that's it. So we are still descending. Thesis statement, topic sentence, the major support sentence. It can be more than one. It can be quite a number. So naturally, if you see the word major, what comes to mind? If we have a major, there must be a minor. So we have the minor support sentence. So it's kind of a chain. Thesis statement linked with topic sentence linked with major support, and major support links to a minor support sentence. What is it? This sentence throws more light on major support sentences. Of course, this is natural. Just as topic sentences explain and throw more light on thesis statement, and major support sentences expand topic sentences, so do minor support sentences throw more light, expatiate major support sentences. So if we go back to our example of there are many ways to kill a cat, another way is to drown it, then a minor support could be to fetch water in a bucket and put the cat in, for example, in a sack, as some people do, and then drown it. Once again, I'm saying that is not a very good way of killing a cat. Is cruelty to animal. Some people do that out of fear, but it's not really good. But for the sake of example, that's it. That's just for the sake of an example. So it is more specific with details or examples. That's the minor support. It's more specific, since we realize that the whole thing is like a cone. So of course, the base of the cone is very pointed, makes it more specific. So minor support sentences are very specific with details or examples. This is usually placed right after a major support sentence. And of course, one major support sentence can have several minor sentences. So a major support can have several minor sentences. And the last one, there is even a possibility of even sub-minor sentences. Sub-minor. The choice is the writer's. So this is the brief discussion we've had today on the importance of paragraph analysis, which is going to inform you to be able to read effectively, to tell what is the most important thing this writer is saying, or this academic paper is saying. What are the main points as captured in the paragraphs? Which sentences hold the main points? If you're able to identify these things very well, it will be easy for you yourself to be able to conceive ideas and know what you want to write. What is the most important sentence? How do you couch it? And how do you use topic sentences to address that thesis statement and have a beautiful write-up that would be linked beautifully and can be a good read for people. So we have seen today that the most important sentence in a write-up is a thesis statement. We've seen that the thesis statement is supported by topic sentences in various paragraphs. And within the paragraphs in which we find the topic sentences, we have major support sentences that explain or throw more light on them. The major support sentences are further broken down into minor support sentences, and if need be, into sub-minor support sentences. So that's that for today. Thank you.